wonder how the wealthy stay wealthy? Or what about how they get wealthy? What if I told you that wealthy people aren't just lucky or born into it? They actually use very specific tools to build, protect, and grow their money. These tools aren't locked away in some secret vault. You just may not know about them. But in truth, they're accessible to you and anybody else who wants to use them. And once you know how to use these tools, you will be able to step into a next level of wealth. In today's episode, I'm breaking down the 7 financial tools of the wealthy and showing you how to start using them, even if you're just getting started. Let's dive in. The wealthy don't just work for money. They make money work for them. I like to call it letting my money have money babies. And wealthy people do this by thinking like builders, protectors, and planners. Every single tool that we're about to talk about on today's episode help build wealth, protect what you already have built, or multiply it over time. And the good news is you don't need $1 million to start using these tools. Just a millionaire mindset and a willingness to take action on the things that I'm going to tell you. Tool number 1 is having a business. It is the ultimate income machine. And this is why wealthy people have businesses. A business isn't just a job. It's, like I said, a money machine. It allows you to generate income on your own terms. You can scale your effort. You can tap into tax advantages. And you can get things that employees don't have access to from an earnings and a savings perspective. You even get tax benefits that are not available to people who just work as independent contractors or have W-2 jobs. Here's an example. Jeff Bezos, we've all heard of him, right? He didn't get rich from a salary. He built Amazon, and even small business owners, from consultants to product sellers, leverage this tool of entrepreneurship. You can start small with a side hustle, an online shop, coaching business, content creation. All of these are forms of businesses if you set it up the right way. Even with $500 a month from a side hustle, you can turn that into $50,000 a year as an income stream that you can count on. And if you're a business owner, you can gain access to tax write-offs and deductions that, like I said, employees can't get. That means more of your money stays in your pocket. And we all want that, right? Tell Uncle Sam, take a hike. Tool number 2, a trust to protect and pass down your wealth. Now here's why the wealthy use a trust. A trust is a legal tool that lets you control how your assets are managed and distributed even after you've passed on. It avoids something called probate. It protects privacy and can also reduce real estate and estate taxes. Now, here's what probate means. When you pass away, whether you have a will or don't, it actually becomes public record. Everything that you have, everything that you own, and you may not want people to know and see all of your business. The other thing that it does is it allows for people to start to bicker and squabble over what part of your estate they think that they should have. And if they can't figure that out, the state actually starts to take away money from your estate, reducing what any of your heirs are actually going to have access to. You absolutely don't want that. So I'm telling you that a trust is something that you absolutely want to investigate. Now, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, even your favorite celebrities, many of them use trust to protect their legacy and prevent family drama, like I was talked about. So here's how you can use it. If you own a home or a business, or you have children, then setting up something called a revocable living trust might be worth the cost. It's not just for the ultra rich. It's actually smart and it's forward thinking. So ask yourself, if something happened to you today, which I hope it does not, would your assets go where you wanted them to go and be given to the people that you want to give it to? If that's not the case, then looking into a trust is something that I highly recommend. Tool number 3, which is insurance, and that is Wealth Protection 101. Now here's why the wealthy use insurance. It is not just about having peace of mind. It's about risk management, life insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, liability insurance, and business insurance all protect you from losses that could destroy and eat away the wealth that you've worked so hard to build. And you may be saying, well, I'm not wealthy. well then it definitely is not is something that you want to look into, because it will protect you whether you have a little, a medium amount, or a lot. And here's a surprising fact. Some wealthy individuals use permanent life insurance, like whole life or indexed universal life, not just for coverage, but actually as a tax advantage savings and borrowing tool. Here's how you can use this tool. Get covered. Get life insurance for your family, health insurance to avoid medical bankruptcy, and business insurance if you are an entrepreneur or business owner. As you grow, consider using insurance for legacy and tax strategies. There are certain insurance vehicles that actually allow you to build up cash value and then borrow money from that policy tax-free, where you become your own bank. Come on, y'all. That's super dope. Check it out. You'll see that I'm telling you the truth. Tool number 4, real estate. These are assets that grow in value and pay you monthly. Now, here's why wealthy use real estate. Real estate offers consistent cash flow, appreciation, that means it grows in value over time. It gives you incredible tax breaks, especially now that the big beautiful bill has passed, and gives you amazing opportunities to take advantage of accelerated depreciation. And it creates leverage, meaning that you can use your real estate asset to actually borrow money and get capital to invest in other places. This is an incredible, powerful combination. Now, here's an example. A $300,000 property can generate, let's say, $2,000 a month in rent. Over time, the property value actually increases while the tenant pays down the mortgage. So this grows your wealth automatically. The house that you might be staying in, if you have a mortgage, you're the one that's paying that down. If you're staying in an apartment or a condo where you're paying rent, you're actually just giving money to somebody else and you're not accumulating any value or any equity for it. So if you are able to step into real estate in any way, shape, or form, I guarantee you that it will be an asset over time, more so than it is a liability. Now, here's how you can use it and get started. Start with your first home. Or you can try something that's called home hacking. And that's where you live in one unit and you rent out the other unit. Let's say that you have a house that has a basement. Well, you stay at the top, and as long as the basement has a separate entrance, you can wall it off for privacy, you could rent out the bottom. I have a friend that does this in Washington, D.C., and she actually makes a profit every single month renting out a portion of her home in D.C. Absolutely amazing. So if you're in a situation, however, that you can't buy something yet, then it's a great time to start learning, okay? That way, when the right opportunity comes, you're ready. And if you don't necessarily want to get into the business of actually owning physical real estate property, you can look into something called a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust, if you want to get exposure without owning the physical property. Tool number 5 is investments. This is how you can multiply your money. Now, wealthy use investments because they don't let their money sit, okay? Wealthy people invest in stocks, in something called ETFs, bonds, private equity, and so much more. And what's the goal? Make money in our sleep. Remember what I said? I like to have my money having money babies. Here's an example. A $10,000 investment. If it grows at 10% a year, that turns into $25,937 in 10 years. That may be what some people are taking home after taxes in a whole year. And that's all without you doing any extra work. All that you did was put your money into an investment, and the investment vehicle did all the rest. So here's how you can use this. Start with what you have. And I mean that. If you have $100 that you can spare to put in an investment account, use that $100 to get started. It will grow over time, and reinvest those money babies to get a bigger investable pool. There are plenty of platforms that can help you get started. For example, Fidelity. I like to use Fidelity. Vanguard, also really great. Robinhood is really good to invest in broad market index funds. The key is you want to aim to be consistent, not perfect. And trust me, you're going to see some ups and downs with your investment. There's no such thing as an investment that only goes in a perfectly straight line. But you have to remember that this is a long game. And even though there have been massive highs and massive lows, if you look at the history of the performance of stock markets or many investment tools, you will see that in general, it is an upward trajectory. You don't want to miss out on this upward ride. Now, here's another pro tip. I don't want you to try to chase fast returns. Wealthy investors prioritize long-term growth over short-term gains. Now, can you make money day trading? Absolutely, but I only recommend that if you are an experienced individual. The safest place for people to start when they are new to investing is to start with a little, let it grow over time, and know that you're in it for the long haul. Tool number 6, retirement plans. This provides tax-sheltered growth. The portfolio of a wealthy person definitely includes tax-advantaged retirement accounts to grow their money without paying taxes until later, or sometimes, maybe not ever. Popular accounts that are in this tax-advantaged category are a 401k, which your employer might actually offer, and they may even give you a match. Something called a Roth IRA, and then there's also something called a SEP IRA for business owners. A solo 401k is also a vehicle that exists. Now here's how you can use this. You can open up a Roth IRA if you qualify. There are certain income restrictions, so be sure to check that out. It grows tax-free, and withdrawals are also tax-free. If you are self-employed or considering a SEP or solo 401k, you can contribute more of your income as your income grows. The secret weapon is the earlier you start, the more compound interest works in your favor. And again, even $100 a month matters, and it grows over time. All of this really depends on your tax scenario, so make sure that you're talking to a professional and doing your own research before making a decision on what to do with any of these vehicles. Here we are, tool number 7, tax-advantaged expense planning. Now, the wealthy use this to reduce their taxable income by using accounts such as an HSA, which is a health savings account, an FSA, which is a flexible spending account, a 529 plan, which is for educational savings. They also use business write-offs and then charitable giving strategies. The wealthy don't just pay taxes, we plan for them. And we use these accounts to create a tax advantage for ourselves. Here's how you can use it. An HSA is great if you have a high deductible plan. You can actually take money pre-tax from your paycheck, set it aside in an account, and whenever you have a qualified medical or health expense, you can use tax-free money to pay for it as opposed to after-tax money. You can also contribute to a 529 plan if you're saving for your kids' education. And don't worry, even if you're thinking, my kid's probably not going to go to college, you can actually use a 529 plan for a lot of things. It can pay for cosmetology school or any other approved educational expense. You can track your business expenses and write those off up to the point that it's legally allowed if you are a business owner, and that is one of the best tax advantages in the world. So I would challenge you, work with a CPA or a tax strategist to help you to start learning more and keeping more of what you earn. They'll help you to legally come up with more strategies to keep what you make. All right, here's the final takeaway. Wealth, again, is not a magical thing that happens and we don't know how to create it. It's actually management and stewardship of what's been placed in your hands already. I've given you today 7 tools that are not just for millionaires. They are tools to help anyone grow what they have and keep more of what they earn. So let's recap. Number 1 is business. If you don't have one, start one. It is a great way to increase your cash flow and to have more control of your earnings over time. Number 2 is a trust. Again, this is for legacy and for legal protection. Number 3 is insurance. This is your safety net, and it also can turn into an investment vehicle. Number 4 is real estate. Again, this is your passive income plus an opportunity for growth that appreciates over time. Number 5 is investments. This is where you're going to multiply your wealth with the power of compound interest and compound growth. Number 6 is your retirement plan. This is where you're going to actually get access to tax deferred wealth. And finally, number 7 is your tax advantaged accounts. This is where you're going to be able to spend money smartly by using pre-tax money. So here's my challenge for you this week. I want you to pick one tool and one action that you're going to take this week, whether that's starting a Roth IRA, looking into life insurance, or brainstorming a business idea. Movement creates momentum, so let's get moving. And if this helped you at all, I would love for you to hit that button to share it with a friend, like and subscribe, because we are ready for you to level up financially. So please make sure that you stay tuned for more episodes like this one, where I'll be giving practical financial strategies that actually work for anyone. Thanks again for tuning in to the Mom Boss Circle, and I will see you in the next episode.